Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video is going to be about this halter, beautiful halter neck dress with open back, with loop and whatever is called. And might want to watch this video to the end because I have some little secret and adjustment to make as we go on with the video. If you haven't subscribed to this moment, please take one minute to hit on the subscribe button, join the family. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and let's get into the video. So the first thing I did is to mark as a straight line as our starting point, because it's like I was talking so much at the beginning. So I'm marking a straight line. So from that straight line, I am going down by my bust point, and my bust point is 7 inches, and then my half length is at 12 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect these points together. I changed location because there was no light. I couldn't film the video at my usual location, and the breeze was something else here, but I got to manage. So once I'm done connecting the lines, I am going to go ahead and take our neckline measurement, and for the width of the neckline I'm marking out 2.5 inches, and then the depth is 2 inches. Remember, this is a halter neck, so we are trying to keep the neck as small as possible. Once I was done with that, I just connected it to give it a round neck, and then I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement, and I'll connect it to my bust point. We are not going to be using this neckline, but we are just trying to mark out our basic bodies so that it will help us to continue with the style. And then I inserted my bust measurement and then my waist measurement. I'll go ahead and connect these 2 points. In fact, I thought of making these basic bodies fast, but on a second thought, I decided to just leave it for first timers that are just seeing my video for the first time. Then for my shoulder slope, I'm going down by 1 inch, and then I'll connect it to the neckline. So once we are done with the basic body, if you look at the style, you see that it has a small shoulder line attached to the neckline. So that's why I am going out by 1 inch from the shoulder line, and then I'm going to go ahead with a straight line, slanted straight line. I will connect it to the bust point. And that's basically all for the front neckline. We are going to be using it to mark our back one as we go on with the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this moment. So you can see I've transferred it to another pattern paper for our back, and you can see I did not add any zipper allowance, and the back neckline is, I went down by 1 inch for it. So we are going to take out the front one and we continue with the back one. And then for this back neckline, so for this back neckline, from our neckline, I will go down by about 2 inches, about 1.5 inches from the neckline, and then from the hemline, I will go up by about 4.5 inches or 5 inches, depending on what works for you, but I went up by 5 inches. And then from the center back, I am going in by 4 inches, and I'll make a point there. So these 2 points, I'm going to make a curve there with my free hand. I'll connect it all around to meet the 2 points, and I'll keep adjusting this point until I am okay with what I have. So once I am done with that, at the down part of it, I'm going in by 1 inch, and then I'll connect it to that semicircle that we just marked, and then I'm going to cut out all these markings that I just did. Just look at the video, you see where I am cutting out. So the reason for going in by 1 inch is because of that open there. It's going to have a loop there, and if you look at the style, you see that it doesn't have any zipper allowance, or that place is not closed. So I've gone ahead to transfer this my pattern, and you see that I added ½ inch all around. Then my same side, I added 1.5 inches to it, but every other side I added ½ inch to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take out all my pins, and for my fabric also I went ahead to cut it into 2. I'm using one as my lining. So for the fabric I'm going to be using to attach for our loop, I cut out a long fabric with the width of 1.5 inches, and I'll fold the two sides and fold it in at the center before stitching it down. And this is going to be serving as the one on the sleeve. If you have bead, you can use your bead for this, but since I don't have bead, I'm just using my fabric to do that. As we go on to the video, you will see what I am talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my back neckline, my back bodice, sorry. So once I open up my back bodice, I will make sure that I'm placing it and I cut out my pieces. I have about 2 inches long of each piece, or 1.5 depending on how wide you want it to be. I'm going to place it at the center back. Remember to go down by ½ inch before you place yours, so that it doesn't, you have an allowance to turn the back opening. So once I go down by 1 inch, ½ inch, I'll place the loop pieces that I cut out, and I'll go ahead and pin it together and pin it down on the back bodies, or on at the center back. And then I'll pick up another one, and I have about 1 inch space on each between each loop. You can do what works for you, but for me, I have 1 inch, sorry. And at the hem side, remember to leave about ½ inch there as well, so that you'll be able to attach the flare. And I did the same thing for the other side of the back. And then this is the pieces that were attached to our sleeve. And I have, for the first one I have 5 inches, for the second one I have 7 inches, and then for the third one I have about 9 inches. So it's increases as it goes on. So the first one is shorter than the other ones. So I'll start pinning this down, and I have 2 for each size, because we have 2 sleeves, right? So I'll go down by ½ inch from the neckline, and then I'll pin the shortest one. Then I'll leave about 0.75 inches, and then I'll pin the next measurement, which is 7 inches, and then I'll leave another space and pin the longest one. Once I am done pinning this down, I'll do the same thing for the other side, making sure that I have the same measurements I have on the other side at this one as well. Then I'll bring in my lining, and I'll be using my lining to cover this. So while stitching this down, you make sure that you push out those rope that you added there, push it towards the neckline, because since the neckline is still open, and then you are going to stitch just like you see me show you guys. You are going to stitch from that place to the semicircle, to the hem, to the loop, to the hem. Another loop, make sure you stitch it very well, because this is a child's clothes, so it doesn't come off easily. So once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and make notches where necessary, and then I'll turn it to the right side. So this is it. After I was done turning it, you can see is how neatly placed it is. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our front bodies. So I'll open up my front bodies to the right side, and then I'll place it front facing front. Remember, the loop should be at the center front, or let's say the center back should be at the center front. Do not make mistake of placing it the wrong way. Then I'll start pinning these ropes together for the sleeve as well, and I went down by ½ inch before pinning it down. Make sure there is a space there, so that you'll be able to attach your halter neckline or your collar. So I'll pin it down. Once I am done pinning this side down, I will do the same thing for the other side, for the other sleeve. Once I am done with this, I'll bring in my lining and then cover it up, and I'll go ahead and pin this down. before going to my sewing machine to stitch it all the way from the tip of the armhole to where it stops. And I did the same thing for the other side. So I'm just making notches where necessary, and then I'll go ahead and take out all my pins and turn it to the right side. You can see how it is coming together. So I'm just going ahead to arrange the fabric, the pieces well. Once I am done arranging it, you can see the sleeve area, how it's looking. So we are going to work on the shoulder. Remember, it has a tiny shoulder. So the first thing I'm doing is to pin down my two neckline, or the two seam neckline. I'll pin it down, then pin the other part of the shoulder, and I'll do the same thing for the other side before going to my sewing machine to stitch it down. So you have to be careful with this because the shoulder is really small, but it's not so difficult to work with. Just take it easy. You get it. So this is it after I was done. You can see the two shoulders are well placed, looking beautiful. Looking so beautiful and neat. So I'll just go ahead and close the arrange the front and the back well, and then I'll go ahead and stitch on the same side by 1.5 inches that we added. So we are going to go ahead and cut out our halter neckline piece, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is to just draw a straight line to help us on this journey. Then I'll draw another line at the center. Just draw another line anyway. There's no measurement for this, just at the center. Let me see. And then I'll bring in my front neckline. I'm going to go ahead and fold it into two, just the front neckline from the shoulder to from the shoulder measurement, and then I'll measure from the shoulder to where the neckline stops, and I have about 3 inches there. So I'll go ahead and mark from that center. I'll mark 3 inches. Then I'll bring in our back neckline and also measure it, and whatever I have there from the center, I'll mark it at the other side. So from this the center front, or the front neck place we marked, I'm going up by 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it to meet the center line that we marked. So this line you are connecting is not going to be straight. It's going to be a bit curvy. That's why I use my French curve to do this. So from there, I'm going up by 1 inch. So I'm going to be marking 1 inch from that curve area, and then while going towards the back, I'll then move to the original line. I don't know if you understand this. So from starting this front, you are going to start your measurement from that place we went up by 1/2 inch. That's where your measurement is going to start. So from that center front, I'm going to be slanting the measurement inward by about 1/2 inch, and then I'll go ahead and connect these points and then cut it out. So that center front is not going to be straight. If you look at it, you see that I went in by 1/2 inch. So I'm just remarking to make sure that my measurement is accurate, that I have what I want, the accurate measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So this is what we have for our collar, and I went ahead to cut it at our fabric, and that center front is going to be on fold. Every other side will have an allowance except for that center front. So I'll open it up. I have 2 pieces for this. I'll be doing front facing front. If you can go ahead and add your interfacing at this point, but for me, I am not using any one for this tutorial. I'll go ahead and pin this down. So we are pinning the upper side of the halter neckline. Once we are done pinning this, I'm going to be stitching from one side all the way to the other side. So the down place is going to be open because that's where we are going to be attaching to the gown. So I'll cut out any excesses and make some notches around it before turning it to the right side. So once I'm turning it to the right side, I'm going to go ahead and iron this, and while ironing it, I'm going to fold it by 1/2 inch at that place that is open on the 2 sides, and then iron it down. So for the neckline, for our bodice, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch so that by the time we want to attach the collar, we will be sure of what we are pushing in. So once I am done marking that 1/2 inch, I'm going to bring in my collar and then place my bodice into it, making sure that the collar is stopping at the marks that I just made. I'll go ahead and pin this down, and I'm going to be pinning all around through the neckline. At this point, you have to be patient and make sure that you are pinning in both the front and the back. That's the neckline and the front. All the pieces are going in properly. Once I am done, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to my sewing machine and then stitch it down from one side of the collar to the other side. So this is it after I was done stitching it down. You can see it's coming together. The gown is coming together. So we're going to bring in our flay. So for this flay, I've folded my fabric already. Folding it in on the camera will be a lot difficult, but I'm going to show you guys with my paper how to fold this, and I have a tutorial on how to fold different types of flay. I'll put it in the description box, please check it out. So assuming this is your fabric, you're going to fold in and the triangular in rectangular form, and then you fold over again. So when you fold over again, you are going to have 4 pieces, and what you're going to be having at the right side, make sure is enough for your waist measurement plus the length of your flay, because that's the shorter place. So that's where that side is more important than the other one. So we are going to go ahead and make a rough estimate of where our waistline is going to fall into. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead from that place and start marking my measurements. That's my waist measurement plus my zipper allowance. Once I am done marking it, I'll remeasure it and make sure that I have my exact measurement before I proceed. And then from that waist measurement we marked, I'm going to place my tape at my waistline measurement, and then I'll mark the full length of my flay plus my zipper allowance. And I'm going to go ahead and keep marking all around. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I'm just using my pin to hold it down so that by the time I want to cut out, it doesn't move and give me a wrong measurement. So this is after cutting it out. I'm going to also cut out one side open for our zipper area. So this is our bodice. We are going to bring in the flay, and then we are going to be doing front facing front. And remember, this bodice is shorter by some inches, the 1 inch, and then also the zipper allowance. So to attach this flay, I am adding extra 1 inch after the loop. So you're going to open the loop, make sure that it's towards the flay or towards the same side, and then this flay is supposed to be 1 inch longer than the 1 inch after the loop. I hope you understand this. Then you start pinning down and you pin all around. If there's any allowance, go ahead and plait it into the bodice. So this is it after I was done. I don't know if you can see what I meant by 1 inch away after the loop. Okay, look at it here. You can see it's longer by 1 inch. That 1 inch is for our zipper. So I'll go ahead and hem this by about 1 inch all around, and then I'll close up my zipper allowance and then attach my zip. If you have trimmings, you can attach your trimmings to your zipper allowance. If you have trimmings, you can attach your trimmings to your zipper allowance. If you have trimmings, you can attach your trimmings to your zipper allowance. If you have trimmings, you can attach your trimmings to your zipper allowance. And then I'll close up my zipper allowance and then attach my zip. If you have trimmings, you can attach your trimmings to your to the neckline to beautify it more. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the rope for the back, and this is just bias. I'll fold it into two and stitch it all the way around. So this is it after I was done. I'm done with the zipper as well, and you can see the style is very, very beautiful. I don't know if you guys can really see, but I'll try to put it on my manicure so that you can see it very well. So for this place, you're going to attach your hook. Is it hook that is called? All those tiny hooks. So I'm just trying to lace this up for you guys to see, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't also to this moment, and share my videos to family and friends, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.